All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those of you still on the fence, we are back on Derailed, courtesy of Arcaicskidz. I'm Arcaicskidz, and we have tweets by Britt. She's back. Britt, hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me on
We're
again.
going to jump right into it. I know that you're real short on time here. You had a great podcast yesterday, and you were talking about the nonsense that happened in the Ninth District Appeals Court.
Yes, it was not great.
You want to just quickly remind people what that was and what it's about?
So what happened yesterday is that the Ninth District has decided that people shouldn't be able to carry guns in public, which is coinciding with the Biden administration trying to make no warrant raids on guns in people's houses a thing. And it's fine. This is all fine. It's fine.
Okay, so this is why I wanted to talk to you right quick, and I wanted to cover this. That I'm a fan. I'm a fan that the Ninth District ruled the way that they did, and I have a reason behind that. So
Okay.
the Ninth District technically only ruled that Hawaii doesn't have that right because it only affects the state to which the case was brought. Now, other states would try to use it as precedent, sure, but it technically only affects that state. I like it because now it goes to the Supreme Court, and if the Supreme Court rules that that's not true, well, that affects the entire country. So people that live in New Jersey, people that live in Chicago, people who live in these places with these draconian gun laws, all of a sudden they have all the precedent now. They're like, no, I can do whatever I want. There's nothing you can say about it. So what are your thoughts on that?
So I've heard that argument, and it really depends on where you stand and how much hope you have in the Supreme Court. So if you look at, say, like the Palmer Report, where they're street rat crazy, they're basically saying the Supreme Court's going to have to bend over backwards to find a reason why the Ninth District is wrong on this issue. So I'm not as I don't have that much like dismay. I think that it should be easy. I think from another standpoint, really the Supreme Court can just look at it and go, there's really not a whole lot of precedent for this. This is unconstitutional. I'm hoping that that's the case and it just gets laughed right out, because everybody knows that like the Ninth is basically a circus. It's basically just fodder. It's panders to the left. It really doesn't matter.
It's super progressive court, for
Yeah.
sure.
So really, like, to me, they shouldn't even. It just, to me, the Ninth makes a mockery of the whole judicial system. So, and also the judicial system makes a mockery of the whole judicial system. But whatever. Reason why I don't feel like this is just for Hawaii, because if this does go to the Supreme Court and it does turn out that they have precedents for this, it's like, I'm in California, like, we're next. It's like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like down the line, it's gonna be swift and severe, and it's bad. And anybody that says this is a like overreaction, this is a this is dramatizing what's happening, and I'm really not. We're at a stage now where people are pretending that 2A was just about hunting and saying that a well-regulated militia means that it should be regulated by the government. And we have those same people that are saying this crazy bullshit are running the Ninth. So no, it's not reactionary. It's not.
No, and I agree with you on that. I will say this: those same people that say that it's about a militia seem to leave out that very last word. And you're saying that there needs to be precedent or something. I don't believe that that's true. I think, well, I know there's at least 3 justices on the court that would make the argument that the Second Amendment ends in shall not be infringed. That's it. I mean, that's 100%. Now, all they basically what they need to do is get two other people to go, okay, I mean, I may not agree with that fully, but I do agree with this is over infringement. So I think the biggest concern is more, how do they rule on, do they say, no, Hawaii, you're wrong? Or do they say, you know, it basically comes down to how do they word it?
Well, there's a problem with that. Those are just from what we've seen in the last 200 years seem to be just words. And the
Constitution?
Yeah,
it is just words.
2A absolutely means nothing if the people that if the United States citizens don't care and don't do anything when
don't enforce their own rights.
So we have to always remember, and I'm gonna like kind of schoolhouse rock everyone for a minute here, and everybody should know this that listens to you. So, but just we always. What's happening in the government and what's happening in our education system is that they're looking at 2A, and we'll talk just specifically about 2A. We don't need to get into all of the other stuff, as a right that the government gave us, that when they feel that they need to pull it back because the people are getting too dangerous, they can go ahead and pull it back. And that is the standard. That is the education that is being taught to every generation, to our children coming up. That's what's happening in our school districts. That's what young people believe right now. That's what a lot of people my age believe right now. And it's absolutely not true. Everybody that listens to the show, 2A specifically, we all know was not the government telling us what our rights are. It was us telling the government and putting them on notice that this is our rights.
Yeah.
But with that means that we have to constantly defend it. And now we've decided that what defending 2A means is letting the people in the Supreme Court, like what is there, nine?
Yeah, there's 9.
Yeah, letting 9 people in robes decide for us, which sounds a lot like what we fought against to get to this country, and let them decide what our rights are. That's not how this works, friends. That's not how this works. So sure, we can wait. We can wait, but we always have to be cognizant of the fact that what they say at the end of the day is great if they side with us, but if they err and do not side with the freedom and liberty every single time and upholding our Constitution, they got to go. Okay? Right. That's exactly what 2A is for, because it's not there so that the government can stop when we get dangerous. It's so that we can stop the government when they get dangerous. And that's what government is getting dangerous.
I agree with you on that. And on that, that's where I wanted to go with this. This is one of the things that drives me just nutty about conservatives, especially, is or conservative, Republican, whatever. I don't whatever. Is that they say, well, you know, you have a right to peacefully protest. And they're absolutely right. And that's exactly the way that you should always focus your efforts. But it's almost like they don't understand what the Second Amendment was for. And Dave Chappelle did this great comedy thing on Netflix where he said the Second Amendment is there to protect all the amendments. So I guess here's my question, and I'm gonna frame this in a way that doesn't get either one of us in trouble.
I'm already in trouble, so.
Okay. Is there a point at which the American people go, enough, and stop with the peaceful nonsense, because they're not being peaceful, as you just stated? They're trying to get it where they can just kick your door in, no warrant required, and come after you and your family. And that's perfectly acceptable. I'm sorry, I think that actually violates more than the Fourth Amendment. It also violates the Third Amendment, which is not something anyone ever talks about, that your home is going to have, you know, military type people just taking it over. But that's what this would do.
Yes, that's absolutely what it would do. I think actually what happened in the Ninth Court is that they specifically talked about having a gun in a public square. And that's why it's so dangerous, because it's the public square in Hawaii. However, the other part of that is that they're saying they can come to your house and take your firearms. As far as will Americans,
Not will, should.
Oh, should, yes, absolutely, always. That's not even a question. We are far past the time of pretending that the left in this country is peaceful. If we want to play by their rules, I say we do whatever we need to do, and then just say that we're peacefully protesting, because that seems to be,
it seems to work for them.
That seems to be what it is. We can go back and forth on, like, decency and all these things, but the left acts like assholes literally every minute of every day, and then says that they're the party of decency. I mean, yeah. These are people that put on vagina hats and scream their abortions, and
how proud they are.
And how proud they are of slaughtering their own children in their womb, and want to tax you to the hilt because they're too fucking lazy to get a job, because they think that landlords don't actually work. They think that business owners are swindling their employees. It's like we're talking to a political party of 15-year-olds. It's insane. So it's time.
Well, I mean, they're recently just trying to get it to where they can vote at 16.
Yeah, because that's who they relate to.
Yeah.
Mom, it's not fair. That's what their party is. It's not fair. Somebody needs to be a parent. It's not going to be the Republicans. They're not.
No, because they're retarded.
Yeah. They're over there like the party of decent. They're not trying to be polite. They're just like, whatever, I'm still making money. That's what they.
I've said before that Tim Pool has this right 100%, where he says the Democrats will come in with this crazy plan and they'll say, we want to burn the house down. And Republicans, like Mitch McConnell, Turtle Boy, because that's what he is, he's Turtle Boy, he goes, well, hold on there, folks. Let's just burn down the kitchen.
Well, see, I'll say this. I get what Tim Pool's saying. I get what you're saying. I don't like that narrative, because Mitch McConnell is, whether you like him or not, and I'm on the not side, he's a genius. He controls.
Well, yeah, he's still in Senate.
He controls everything that goes on in Senate, and he is very much in control of every president that we have. Absolutely. And
that's true.
And that's a hill.
He is a hell of a politician.
Yes, he is. So
just like Nancy Pelosi. I give Pelosi the same credence. She's a hell of a politician.
She's she's also an old drunk, but like, but she is. These people do not. They get by on the fact that the other side thinks that they're just idiots. They're not idiots.
Well, or evil. Or evil.
Or evil?
Well, there was a long time, in my opinion, that I think the Democrats saw the Republicans as evil, and the Republicans saw the Democrats as ill-informed. Yeah. But I think that narrative is shifted to where now they both just think the other one's evil. There's no just like, hey, we can reach these people and talk to them. No, they're just evil and they're Satan and we got to get rid of them.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I could think of maybe 3 politicians that I don't consider evil, and none of those are Donald Trump. Like,
you mean in federal government?
In any form, yes, in federal government. I think at local government level. Look, as far as
where you live.
Yeah, where I live, there's a lot of libertarians. So.
Oh, that's right, because you're one of those upper rich white girl people. So that's different.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's where everyone's moving. Everyone wants to move to my area, and they want to,
if they stay in California, they want to move where you live.
They want to move exactly where I live, and they want to make sure that they turn it into the trash hole that they just.
So you're going to turn your house into like this big old like giant cash bag and then bounce?
No, I will not be one of those people in Los Angeles that lets a squatter sit on my front yard. My 7-year-old was very clear on this, and I will go ahead and borrow from him when he said, if somebody comes to stay on our lawn, I'll shoot them off the fucking porch.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
cool with that. Like, I'm not gonna, why would I put my family at risk for somebody else's values?
No, I agree with you on that. I meant, are you gonna like let that, because all those people that want to move to where you have a local government that hasn't lost their shit yet,
It's good.
your property value will just start to skyrocket as that happens. My question was, you gonna like let it peak, cash in, and then bounce to like Texas or Florida? Are you gonna be one of them?
No, I don't know. I know we bought our house for about a little under $500K about 4 years ago. Yeah, I know. It's crazy when I tell people that, because I
think about what I can spend $500K on where I live and what you can in LA.
I feel like people, when I tell them that, it's like they're gonna be like, oh, she's poor, because
it was only $500K.
Our house is like 3 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet. We don't have a pool. We have 2 bathrooms, like small kitchen.
That's what I meant. $500K where I live buys the house that I'm sitting in right now, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it's 5 bedroom, 3 bath, over 3,000 square feet. It's got an indoor pool. Like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah. So, and here's the craziest part of all of this. And I know a lot of it's inflation from World Timeout, but we were just offered $705,000 for our house.
Jeez.
Like, I told my aunt.
You're like, what?
I know. It was like, and my sister lives in Seattle, or just outside of Seattle. And it's crazy to hear her talk in Seattle and say, I would never pay that for a house. Because I'm like, you live in Seattle. We were actually just looking at houses in Galveston a couple weeks ago online, and we thought, it was like, okay, everybody tells me the beaches are not anywhere near the beaches, in California.
They're not.
And that's like I mean, at the end of the day, it's the truth. That's why I don't want to leave. I love the beach. Both my parents live here. I mean, I grew up in Ventura. So for me, if I like leave LA, it's like, okay, well, we can go to Ventura. So I can get like a 3-bedroom house there for $500,000 or $600,000. Well, I don't know even now. Everything's going up, but
like Ventura now, like $1 million. No worries.
I don't know. I know, but to think about that, to think like, oh, I need $1 million if I want to have a spare bedroom.
That is insane.
It is. It really is. And it's absolutely 100% like progressive policies. Here's what is even more insane in all of this is that if I go to Studio City, Toluca Lake, Sherman Oaks, San Fernando Valley, beautiful San Fernando Valley, I could buy a house kind of like mine. It would cost over $1 million. And literally at the end of the street, there would be at least one tent encampment. It's so bad. San Fernando Valley is so disgusting right now.
Can I tell you where my issue in this entire situation is? I understand these people are... some are just down on their luck. Some are addicted to drugs, whatever. I don't know. You never know why they're homeless. That requires conversation with them. But here's the issue. The most progressive, richest places in the country have the worst problem with it.
Yes.
This is just a fact. No one can say that, Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is a poor city, does not have the same problem as Los Angeles, though they have pretty good weather. They don't have the beaches and stuff, sure, but whatever. Here's my biggest issue with it. They pass all these moronic policies, and most of them are just tax, Just give us more money and we can fix the problem. Seems to be their number one go-to. But they have done such a shit job. And these lefty, I'm going to be very nice here. These rich progressive lefties that vote for all this nonsense and tell other people to vote for this nonsense because that gets the tent out of your front yard, right?
Well,
they pass all this crap. It doesn't work. And then what do? They sell their crap and they move because they can afford to do it. And they leave all these other people there holding the bag. That's what's going on.
Yeah. So I think the misconception in all of this is that it's some sort of bug. Like if they just got it. What people don't realize is there's no bug in the system. That's a feature. It's just our education system. It needs to stay broken so that we can keep generating more tax revenue and saying, but think of the children. And then we say, but you guys are supposed to be the educators and the smartest people in society. And it's still broken. Well, it's because kids are poor if we give them more money. Okay, well, we gave you more money, but you didn't fix it. Well, we need to fix the education system. Well, it's not the system. It's that these kids are poor. Okay, but now they have breakfast, but it's not these poor kids that are running the system. It's you idiots. No. It's like we say the same thing about the homeless problem. Like, well, I
almost feel like you'd be better off to go to Compton and just pick 8 random 8th graders and be like, run the city.
Yes. They would do a better job.
They'd be like, well, we know how to hustle.
I mean, and that's the thing people talk about all the time. Like if you go to like Compton, Crenshaw area, like I don't know if people outside of Los Angeles know this or outside of California know this. Like the other side of that is Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
It's like right there. It's not like,
and it's like not that far removed.
And you have to know why things are like they are. But here's the problem is that the people that are in Compton and Crenshaw, well, it's actually not a problem. Those people that are living over there, the people in Azusa, like where I kind of grew up, the people that are in these areas that are, you know, kind of lower middle class sometimes, economically, they're starting to wise up and be like, wait a minute, these rich ass motherfuckers, like they're selling us a bill of goods that is worth nothing. Like they're starting to figure it out. So
it's like back in the days of mining in the 18th century when they would sell a stock to a mine that was already dried up.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
They're getting like, and that's why, you know, when we see, like we saw some kind of riot, some kind of uprising here in Los Angeles and California, not like we did in the rest of the country, because these social justice, like the activists and the BLM, they went in to those areas because everybody thinks like, oh, that's exactly who BLM, that's exactly their target market. They kicked them right out of those neighborhoods. The people in Los Angeles that are putting those like BLM and doing this are upper middle class white liberal women.
Yeah.
That's who's out here.
Yeah.
It's celebrities. It's people like that. People that live in the neighborhoods that I grew up in, they're like they're on board like I'm on board. Like if someone asks me, do Black Lives Matter? Fuck yeah, they do. All the lives matter. Like, but I'm not going to be one of those like all lives matter people, but Black Lives Matter. Like, do you support Black Lives Matter? Fuck no. But do Black Lives Matter? Absolutely.
But if they really believe that, they would be like throwing a bitch fit about Chicago and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's not like the evidence isn't there to, your gun laws do not help. These people can't protect themselves. That's the problem. We are running out of time. I know your husband's coming.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just want to say really quick too, I want everyone to remember this. If you have any question about what people in Compton think about gun laws and things like that, I would direct you to probably America's most honest and prolific doctor, Dr. Dre. The Chronic, 2001. What?
You're not
What do we
wrong.
think about guns? Like, I ain't got none. Yeah, like, trust me. There.
100%. That is 100%.
I will always. I don't care. Dr. Dre could come out tomorrow and be like, I want to abolish all the white people. And I'd be like, I'm with you, Dre.
I know. Okay, that's a little past where I'd go, but all right, I appreciate it.
I love them. It's probably biased. That's
Right.
after we have in the
Right.
Thanks for having me.
We are out of time. I want to thank you a lot, Britt. I really appreciate it. Everyone needs to follow her. I did not apparently turn the banner on because I'm an idiot. So that's her show, Freckles and Britt show on YouTube. Definitely check it out. Also follow her on TweetsbyBritt.
And I'm on Clubhouse now. Salt by Britt.
She's on Clubhouse, Salt by Britt. I'm not on Clubhouse because I'm not special. I have an iPhone. So
well, get yourself an iPhone. I'll send